excuse to start a recurring audio room or start great conversations in Fanbase, I think Sprint 100 has those excuses as well. Okay, so 2 great audio increments on web that they're scheduled to be part of Sprint 100. Okay, we're also doing some other bug fixing, and as well, we're going to be doing some tweaks on the algorithm as well. We always do that, but that's all part of a hefty, happy release for Sprint 100. Now, everything is on track. The team is testing and adjusting things that the QA team might have found, but of course, we depend on the app stores being nice to us, playing nice to us, and allowing us to go live. So if everything goes well, next Wednesday, you're going to have a brand new release with all these great increments, and we're super excited about it. I definitely encourage everyone to be on the lookout. Once you download the latest version, I want to hear feedback. You can save them for our Thursday Tech Talk, or you can check your phone or email us at support.fanbase.app and share your feedback through there as well. Okay, so super excited about that. But this is just what's included for Sprint 100 release next week. We're working on other things in parallel that are going to take a little bit longer, and they're going to be part of other releases. Number one, we are revamping the entire profile. We call it Profile 2.0. We're going to be doing some UX UI improvements. We're going to allow you to have a better visibility of all your content through the different tabs. We're also going to be bringing camps into Profile. So camps are not going to be just inside audio. They're going to be part of your profile as well. So again, trying to push community building in Fanbase, and camps are going to be part of Profiles starting very soon in Profiles 2.0. We're also working for those that are business owners or work for small, medium, or large businesses that might be interested in partnering with Fanbase. We're working on a partner section for the main page as well. We're starting to build a lot of great partnerships. We want to open up the game and the opportunity to partner with Fanbase beyond the relationships that we know. So starting very soon, you're going to see a new section in our website dedicated to partners so they can reach out to us and we can do great things together. We are also looking through this. We're going to continue the camps improvements. We're going to focus on allowing you to be to share camps. So if you want to share camps in other social media where you have other communities and you want to bring them over, you're going to be able to bring them directly into camps. We're also going to allow search in camps by interest. So if you're interested in, R&B, soccer, whatever interest it is, you'll be able to find camps related to that right away. Again, pushing to build community because we are all about community and monetization. So camps will have a lot of improvements coming up. Let's see, what else are we working on Sprint 100? Obviously, break fix, algorithm changes, that's going to be part of the sprint as well as usual. We are working on, we've been improving our insight backend a lot, and we're going to be adding new features to the insight so we can continue getting data on how we can drive better business decisions, but also how we can bring that data to you. So that's, while it seems like a transparent type increment, it's going to bring a lot of value to Fanbase and all the users as well. We are also finalizing a potential reward program as well. The team has to do several adjustments throughout a few months, and I think it's ready to start doing a pilot of that. I'm excited about that. I'll share more details as we get closer to release for that one, but I am excited. And then we're going to be working on some notifications improvements as well. So all of that, including the increments that I mentioned for the release, are part of Sprint 100. We had to make it great, so we had to work on a lot of things in Sprint 100, and that's exactly what we're doing. So there's a new release coming up next week. And again, this is just Prim 100. We'll talk a little bit about the roadmap in a little bit, but I want to take a little pause. I want to see if you guys have any questions. I know some of you have joined late, but I want to see if you have any questions on the release next week, some of the increments that are coming, what are we working on, or if you just want to give us any feedback on if you're a new user, your experience at Fanbase, or if you want to give us any ideas, this is the space to do it. So let me go into the chat room. It's always going there. What's going on, Latos? How are you? Yes, share this room as well. I always encourage, that's a good one. I always encourage to share these conversations so other people that maybe haven't heard about Fanbase can come into this room and we can help them understand what Fanbase is about. Let me see. Lots of people have been saying there needs to be a section on our profile that is the camps we run on. Yeah, I actually, maybe you joined late, but I did mention that the team is working on profile, what we call Profile 2.0, beyond UX, UI changes that we're going to do, improvements on that. The first increment that is going to come up is going to be being able to feature the camps that you're part of. Okay? So that's definitely coming, and it's already being developed. I see the marketing team is doing an awesome job. They are. I gotta say, they're doing. We have this weekend. We have a big tech investment conference here in Atlanta, and Fanbase was invited to participate. We're going to be there, and the marketing team did an amazing job getting ready for the conference. If you are local to Georgia and you want to come by, I definitely recommend the conference. It's Friday through Sunday. You're going to see we're going to have a Fanbase booth, but it's not going to be just any booth. We are actually bringing our Fanbase stage into the conference. We're going to have several creators coming through our booth. Job for investors that is this weekend. A special shout out to Mr. Noah Washington, who put the entire team on his shoulder, and he did a lot of the work there as well. So, all right, sorry if this was asked. Will there be an open API? Eventually, yes. I did mention that one of the first things we wanted to do, so our API architecture has been evolving throughout these years. And we are on our almost fourth iteration of API. The roadmap is to eventually open API and do some cross-collaboration as well. The first thing that needs to happen is implementing the concept of webhooks, which is partially done with the reward program that I mentioned earlier. So we are going to get there. Not sure if it's going to be this year. I'm going to be completely honest. That could change. I always say this because we are in the middle of a race. We're trying to raise $17 million. So if the race speeds up and we do get the money to accelerate development, we might be able to get there sooner. But definitely we want to start working eventually in the future with Open API and collaborate with a lot of the great dev community that is out there. Okay. Is the Linktree contest still going? Yes, it is, that I know of. There's been, like I said, there's been a lot of things going on, so maybe you haven't seen much about it, but the Linktree contest still goes on. For those that didn't know, we have a partnership with Linktree, but the partnership is super strategic in the sense that it has been proven in Fanbase when you actually have your content, your profile, aggregated in your link aggregator such as Linktree, there is a huge increase of visibility, views, following, and eventually monetization. So the marketing team put together a Linktree campaign where we are rewarding those that have a fan base on their Linktree. We look at that every month, and then we randomly select 5 users, and we give them labs. We reward you with labs. So it's still going on. But I just wanted to explain a little bit what the Linktree contest is, because I saw that question going on. Will there be any way to save live streams in Fanbase Plus? Yeah. Now, that's part of the live stream RTMP Rama per se. What we haven't defined 100% yet is if it will be in Fanbase Plus or Flix, because if you think about it, the live stream we have today is 16 by 9, so it's not vertical like it is for Fanbase Plus. Now, when we do bring RTMP, that's going to change, because it's going to be, sorry, not vertical, horizontal. It's going to be a lot of horizontal type streaming, right? And in that case, we are seeing the possibility of saving it as Fanbase Plus as well. So, definitely. Can I save posts and where are they stored? Hey, James, no, not yet. I'm assuming you're referring to being able to see a post that you want to save so you can revisit later on. Not yet. What we are doing as far as post management, as we work on Profile 2.0, we're also going to bring some tools such as, things such as be able to pin posts, archive posts, and so on. So there's going to be a roadmap there, or management tools to handle your profile that will allow you to save them too. But we don't have that quite yet. Okay. All right. Those are good questions, guys. Thanks for asking. Any other questions, just drop them in the chat. If I have the answer, I'll answer. If not, I'll tell you I'll get them for you, just like some of you always put me on the spot. And again, I might not have it. Let me see. I see some people. Oh, I thought I had someone. I see. There you go. Talking about people that put me on the spot. I'm going to bring Tim up. I see you up, Tim. I don't know why you show up. There you go. Come on over, Tim. Oh. Maybe you want to come over? I don't know what's going on. I see you with the hand. There you are. What's up, Tim?
What's up, Rama? I almost forgot my question because I thought you were going to go to the road, but I'll go ahead and ask it. So it got me to really thinking when you mentioned camps, right? That you're going to kind of be, opening up camp to some other verticals. So I'm going to use Scale for an example because I don't have this particular this feature enacted on my particular profile, but so Scale, which is the host of the creator of the dressing room, has a unique URL for her audio room, right? And it's under her camp name. So if when you roll out more iterations of camp, how will her URL be affected, if any? Because I know you're saying that camps will be included in the profile, and as of now, we already kind of have that URL structure where it's associated with our actual profile name, right? But in her case, how will her URL structure, more specifically on her audio room, be affected when that iteration, the camp actually, I'm not saying you have to tell me specifically how it is going to be displayed, but I'm just really focused more on the URL structure, and I'm landing my plane.
Yeah. So one of the things that you probably heard us, but we haven't really shown a lot, is what we call branded audio rooms, right? Branded audio rooms, among all the many benefits that you get in a branded audio rooms, is allows you to have a custom URL, just like you mentioned, that will always be used when you're actually having your audio conversations. We're doing a piloting on that, so we have selected specific users to to do some of these branded audio room. So to answer your question, number one, that's a branded audio room, which is a custom URL. And bringing it to the profile will not affect it at all because branded audio room is a separate increment from camps. Okay. So branded audio rooms initially is being used for, again, by some users, but also we're doing some partnerships with businesses to bring, creators and businesses together. Eventually, we are assessing how we could open that functionality to entire community if we would do so. But even if we do that, it will not affect camps at all. Now, I don't discard that in the future, there could be an integration between camps and branded audio rooms where we can maybe offer some value to the users and those that are inside the camp. But for now, it's not affecting anything, and they're two separate things.
Okay. Thanks for that, Rama.
You're welcome. And branded audio rooms is part of a set of what we call branded experiences in Fanbase. We take pride in the fact that we're not an ad-centric platform. We're not big believers on the traditional put an ad on the feed because that brings a lot of negative things to the environment, including having to be shadow banned, not gaining visibility. But what we're big believers is on branded experiences where throughout all the different verticals and experiences that happen in Fanbase, we can bring partnerships and brands that can collaborate with creators and content in an organic way where there's no shadow banning, there is value proposition for all parties, creator, brand, and Fanbase. So we're going to start rolling out more and more of those in the future. And in fact, that's a part of diversifying also the revenue streams for Fanbase. Today in Fanbase, you can make money through Labs, which is our digital currency. They're worth about a penny, and also subscriptions. But in the future, as we scale, we're going to start bringing revenue streams from these branded experiences for the user, for Fanbase, and also for partners and brands as well. So sometimes I'd like to just take a pause and explain a little bit because you might hear me say branded audio rooms, branded experiences, and you might not understand what we're talking about, but that's a little bit of everything. And again, we'll start bringing more and more of those branded experiences in the future as well. All right.
All right, sounds good, Rama.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it. Let's see if there's any other questions. All right. Let me see. Someone says, why Chatter look better than Fanbase? Last time I heard and I saw it doesn't look better than Fanbase. In fact, it has a lot of bugs too. But, there's a lot of other players out there that are trying to do the same. We're super confident of what Fanbase is about. The biggest differentiation, the monetization, and we're actually bringing a lot of big audio increments very, very soon. That I know other apps won't be able to bring them. So let's see, when are we going to be able to live stream from desktop? What's up, Ray? So that's part of the RTMP. We're doing refining right now. I mentioned that we don't want to bring RTMP just like every other platform does. Like we don't want to do exactly the same thing that Twitch does. We want to do it differently. The core concept of being able to stream while you do gaming and so on, that will be maintained, but we want to bring several differentiators to the feature. So we are taking longer on this one just because we're bringing some heavy hitters to the refining that know a lot about RTMP and will allow us to implement those differentiators as well. So, all right. Let me see. All right, what's up? So I'm going through all the messages. So the camps URL will be different than the branded rooms. Yes, correct. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And once we bring the share camps, you're going to see that it's going to have a different URL. Keep it classy. I love it. I like when people challenge us and ask questions. I don't expect everyone to agree or like what we do, and there's always value even in disagreements or providing information. So it's all good. No, I agree. We are not trying to recreate the wheel. That's why I say that the core concept of RTMP, the core value that most users get from it will be there. But I think when you build features that it can allow you to bring that value, but also differentiate yourself and might take, an extra couple sprints, I think is worth a shot. And one of the objectives we had with this race is, we wanted to start differentiating ourselves more and more from the rest of the players. And so I'm a big believer there's a lot of value in familiarity, but also when you mix familiarity with small things that distinguish yourself from the rest, with the monetization core that Fanbase has, I think it's 10 times the value. So that's why we won't recreate the wheel, but we'll definitely make it more valuable for everyone here. Are there any plans for Fanbase to integrate with any of the programs people use to schedule, post multiple social media apps at the same time? Yeah. So part of the marketing leadership has been requesting that for quite some time. And we do have intentions of going beyond just sharing and posting, and we want to be able to allow scheduling through other platforms. That one takes time. As you can see, the larger platforms are integrated already, but we definitely have the intention to do it. It's just a question of time, really. So definitely. Is Fanbase open to partnership or cross-promoting? We are, yeah. So I want to differentiate it. Obviously, I saw that someone asked acquisitions as well. So partnerships, 100%. We're all about partnerships. And I mentioned earlier, we're actually creating a dedicated page on partnerships. So we had a lot of inquiries lately on companies. I like companies too, trying to do partnership and cross-promoting. So we want to open up the field to hear from more partners, even brands and companies, to see how they could benefit from partnering with Fanbase. So we're definitely 100% on that. Now, acquisition, that's a different story. If you're talking about Fanbase being acquired, obviously that's an extra strategy that is not in our roadmap right now. And that's something that someone like Isaac might be able to share his vision and where his mind is at. Now, for us to be able to acquire or absorb to gain value from other partners, we're open. Obviously, right now, all the core of the money that we're raising is going into user growth and product development. Those are the two, really, if you want to put two big buckets. In the future, as we grow as a company and we have that money available, I don't discard, again, rather than reinvent the wheel and try to do things from scratch, sometimes acquisition and integration, it's a better roadmap. So I don't discard that. All right. I'm excited for scheduling future when it comes. Yep. Will come. People need to just add posting to Fanbase into the creative workflows. Yeah, definitely. Make sure that's right, Silver. Make sure you share. So, as part of the insights improvements, we focus a lot on sharing and being able to understand what and how sharing is helping to build community in Fanbase. And we're getting amazing data from that, and we're drawing our own conclusions, and we're tweaking things here and there. But I definitely encourage everyone. The best way you can help Fanbase and build community is just share. We never ask anyone to just go ahead and just leave all your other social media, but rather leverage it and share Fanbase. When you post on Fanbase, share your profile and bring them over. And that's the best way to build community here as well. So share. Let me see. What are the initiatives you guys have planned to facilitate more user growth? Ooh, what a question. So let me start by saying that we are big believers in micro creator communities. A lot of times I know that there's other companies that, they bring a big celebrity and, they think that everything's going to explode and everything. But because we're big believers of communities and how that allows users to add value within those networks in a platform, we are focusing a lot on micro communities and micro creators, relationship building, digital strategies that can help bring some of those communities, partnerships as well. I mentioned it's a great way to do user growth. Sometimes it's not bringing one creator that brings their audience. Sometimes it's bringing an aggregator that has, a large community. And you might see some of those in Fanbase as well, that they're doing audio rooms as well. But that's one of the things. Obviously, product development, it's a key way to not only acquire users, but also retain them. As far as acquiring users, what we're trying to do is we're trying to be very strategic of the type of tools that we bring inside the platform that might help some of these micro creators or micro creator communities that they will find valuable and then make Fanbase a home for them. When it comes to retention, there's a lot of things that we're also doing and we want to continue doing. I think, adding relevancy on the type of content that you see that gets featured and so on is something that we're constantly working on. I think we're getting better and better. So there's still a lot of work on retention because, again, we're getting a lot of new users every day. That doesn't stop or slows down. It's also how we can keep them and we can push them into improving, into building community inside Fanbase as well. Okay, partnerships. It's definitely another way that we're trying to do user growth. We have obviously social and digital strategies that help as well. But, again, if I have to put everything in several buckets, I would say, content creator relationships, partnerships, strategic product development, and even strategic content creation that might cater and attract some of those creators as well. So that's just a little bit. I mean, we're spending hours and hours on the plans and the different efforts that we have, that we're doing today, and we want to do as we progress with the race as well. But that's a little bit of the, in a nutshell. Okay. Fanbase is the future. You're right, see Push. You know it. When I share my Fanbase rooms on other platforms, I tag Fanbase and I said, what other accounts should I be tagging? That's a great start. I think that's more than enough. Just by tagging Fanbase. A lot of times, something that happens is, for those that are part of Fanbase and have been using Fanbase for a while, there is a reality that there's still a lot of people out there that they don't know what Fanbase is. So one of the things I always mention when sharing beyond the great content is always adding some context or adding some key values that you see or key benefits that you see in Fanbase. Because that has always been proven to, you never know who's looking, but sometimes, by seeing Fanbase and seeing a piece of content might not be enough for them to understand why is Fanbase different than other platforms. Starting to see suggested content, we released that. We're going to start bringing more and better content as well. And the main point of suggested content is to also give more visibility to your content as well. We're starting to see a lot of movement in the Flix vertical, which is exciting, which is what we're expecting. So yeah, that will continue, and we'll have more than just Flix suggested. Let me see. What's going on, Deshaun? Welcome. You're welcome. No, hope that helped. All right. Well, I don't see any other questions on the chat room. Those are really good questions, guys. Let me see if I see anyone. I saw a hand raised. Maybe I'm wrong. No, I think we're good. All right. Well, let's. I see more people join. I see Santi. What's up, Santi? How are you? Hey, Dave and Ray, Kira. How are you guys? All right. So let's talk a little bit about the roadmap. We actually had several meetings this week. Every time I always like to explain a little bit of how we work and how we set priorities. There was a great question on Tuesday in our town hall that someone said, how do you decide what to work on, right? And I always talk about this big bucket that is being fed by different sources that actually adds weight to the decision of what we're going to be tackling from the product side. We have vision, right? What we think is going to really move the needle. Where is the creator economy and the social media industry going? What is the next thing? So you need vision in everything, but it's not everything. And that's why we also been working a lot of insights. So we look at insights as well. What is working? What is not working? Why it's not working? And we're also created a lot of feedback loops. And hopefully you guys have realized, obviously, one of the main feedback loops is you being able to shake your phone at any given time and give us feedback. Even if it's an idea, even if you say this doesn't work, that's a feedback loop to us. But we're also, when we see users are installing the app, we want to understand why are they installing? What are we missing? What didn't work for them? So all those feedback loops are also a variable in this big bucket that makes us decide what can we do from a product perspective and marketing perspective to move the needle and to keep growing users. And we also have a lot of ideas and opinions within the different teams, the product team, marketing team, even the finance and operations teams. So we give a channel for them to also share their insights, right? And then we put it all together, and that's how we start making decisions. We set ourselves quarterly objectives, but even when we do quarterly objectives, we always tell ourselves we have to be flexible, because in the industry that we are, I know we're not a startup anymore, I will consider as a scale up, we need to be nimble and dynamic, and we need to shift anytime that we have to. So we always are reviewing our roadmap constantly based on all these variables inside that bucket and based on our OKRs, our objectives. And this week, actually, we're tackling a lot of those objectives already, which we're super excited. But we actually say, okay, let's take a look. Are the priorities that we had a few months ago, are those the same? And if they're not, why not? Because again, just because you set yourself for an objective, if that objective is no longer adding the value to the company and to the users like you thought, then you have to be able to change. And that's exactly what we do every week. We just assess everything. And we did that. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that are coming for the rest of the quarter. I'm not going to talk too much about Q4 because we're still trying to figure out the best way to set up Q4 as far as product development. We have a lot in the pipeline. So obviously, we're going to be continuing working with camps improvements. I mentioned we're going to be able to allow you to share camps. You're going to be able to search for interest within camps and other camps improvements. And we're also going to be working on improving the algorithm and first experiences. To us, first experiences is those first 72 hours for a new user. How can we give them the value they're looking for, right? Again, in our industry, that's not expected to get 10 users and give value to all 10 users, but we definitely are trying to see how we can do that. So there's a lot of first experiences increments that we're going to be working the rest of the quarter. Most are related to algorithm. How can we drive relevancy in content visibility? So then if someone sees the content they're looking for, not only it's just a view, it's a relevant view that can drive monetization. So we're working on a lot of surgical style increments. Some are small, some are larger for first experiences, but that's going to be definitely a focus for the rest of the quarter.